flight AI-132 came from Heathrow to Bengaluru on Monday. Now, Air India Senior VP of Operations has written to all Boeing 787 pilots following the reported defect involving the fuel control switch. I have Bismi joining me live. Bismi, just take us through the content of that letter that you have access. What has the Air India Senior VP of Ops said to the pilots?
Right, Vedika. So the senior VP has informed all the 787 Dreamliner fleet pilots about, the inspection being going on. Now, Boeing, the matter has been escalated on urgent basis with Boeing over a possible defect on the 787 fleet's fuel switch control latch. Like you said, this came after a scare, or a pilot reported a scare about, the fuel switch control not remaining in the run-off position twice. Now, as per sources, Air India has completed the examination of half of its fleet, and sources have told us that there was nothing found out of the ordinary in these particular set of Dreamliners fuel control switch system. Over to you.
All right, so that's the big breaking news that Bismi is bringing to us at the top of Breaking Ground at 1 p.m. More than half that fleet has been inspected. Bismi, we'll keep coming back to you for more, but that's the latest we have on the story for now. We have more news coming in. The government will issue a statement on the India-US trade deal is what we're hearing. It's going to be Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal to make that statement. And this will be in Parliament at 3 o'clock this afternoon. This comes after the huge uproar that we witnessed inside the Lok Sabha 2 times over. You had the Parliament being adjourned till 12 and then once again till 2 p.m. It's at 3 p.m. that the Union Commerce Minister is expected to make that statement, coming more than 14 hours after the announcement was made by the US President Donald Trump on the trade deal that the two countries had secured, which is being touted as the father of all deals. This deal, of course, comes after the big deal that India has signed with the European Union. Earlier this morning, there was also an NDA parliamentary meeting that took place inside Parliament, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about the implications of the newly announced India-US trade deal. And that's according to sources. What we've also been told through sources is that the session held amid the ongoing parliamentary proceedings saw Prime Minister Modi urge MPs to engage actively in legislative debates and to communicate government achievements directly to the people. Prime Minister Modi also stressed on the importance of parliamentary participation. He instructed all NDA MPs to maintain full attendance in the House and to contribute to discussions on key issues. And while that is happening, and I have Himanshu joining me live at this point. Himanshu, you have the opposition that is not allowing Parliament to function at this point over the trade deals, and they've leveled several charges against the government on the trade deal.
Well, I think that is largely because of the fact that both India and the US have not yet made public the specific details of what kind of deal has actually been stitched. We have been told by the US ambassador in India, Sajay Gaur, that there are a few issues that are being tied up. And after that, in next few days, the broader details, the more specific details of this larger agreement will be made public. Because opposition parties are raising apprehensions about what the government has decided in terms of opening up India's agriculture sector is concerned, dairy sector is concerned. But what we do know from government sources is that India has staged 8 FTAs in last 4 years. And in all these 8 FTAs, there have been a sensitive list of products like agriculture, dairy, etc., on which government of India has given no concessions. And in fact, sources have told us that one of the reasons why there was a significant delay in finalizing the broader contours of India-US trade deal is largely because of US insistence that India should open up its agricultural market, and India deciding not to do that. So I think we'll have to wait for more details from the United States and the Indian government in terms of what are the final contours of the trade deal that has been finalized. But for now, opposition parties are now putting pressure on the government to open up and share details under what conditions and context this larger India-US trade deal has finally been finalized. So we do know from sources in Commerce Ministry that Piyush Goyal is on his way back from Mumbai to Delhi and is expected to make a very detailed statement on the India-US trade deal between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. That's a time band when we will have the larger picture, where government for the first time will brief Parliament of India, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, in terms of what exactly are the contours of this larger ambitious.
And very
India
important to
US
know
trade
the contours at this point. Himanshu, thanks for joining me live. Piyush Goyal to speak between 3 and 4 p.m. in Parliament today on the trade deal. All right, I was telling you about the NDA parliamentary meeting where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was felicitated by the members of the NDA. You also had the Prime Minister say that patience and perseverance had paid off despite criticism and stressed that the deal will boost manufacturing and improve quality production in India. Like I said, he had also urged all MPs to maintain full attendance in the House. There were chants praising Prime Minister Modi in that meeting for securing that huge deal with Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America. When the media attempted to interact with the Prime Minister and congratulate him on the deal, here's what he had to say.
नमस्ते प्रधानमंत्री जी, यूएस डील की शुभकामनाएं। सर यूएस डील
ट्रेड डील को तो मैंने बता दिया कि ऐतिहासिक ट्रेड डील 39 डेवलप कंट्रीज के साथ जो डील हुए हैं वो इस चीज को दर्शाता है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में आज जो डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज है सब लोग भारत के साथ तालमेल करके एक साथ काम करना चाहते हैं, पार्टनरशिप में काम करना चाहते हैं। इससे हमारे आम लोगों का जिंदगी में बहुत फायदा होने वाला है।
But the opposition, of course, at this point is criticizing the government for not coming out with a deal through an announcement by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They're saying, why is it that the President of the United States came out with the announcement instead of us hearing it first from Prime Minister Modi? This has led to an uproar in the Lok Sabha, and that has been adjourned till 2 o'clock. We're now being told that Piyush Goyal is on his way from Mumbai to Delhi. The Commerce Minister will address the House between 3 and 4 p.m., where more details of this big deal will also be announced. We have Aditya Rajkol joining me at this point on the big trade deal between the US and India. Aditya, what does this even mean for the relation between, India-US ties at this point? It has seen a setback in the recent past, but with this trade deal, what does the road ahead look like?
Vedika, it's a significant development between India and United States. It has been under talks for quite a few months. There have been rough roads. There have been, difficult times in the relationship when it comes to the trade deal, especially because of the geopolitical tension, the Russia-Ukraine war, the use of the Russian oil. But now that seems to be behind us. We have also seen barbs at India, from Peter Navarro to Howard Lutnick attacking India. Perhaps those were the negotiations tactics also to go hammer and tongs against India, to put pressure, to build pressure against India so that there is a trade deal that is beneficial to the United States. India also keeping its patient. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi this morning spoke in detail about how patience pays off. He told the parliamentarians that finally this deal will be a win-win deal. It will be beneficial for the people and for the manufacturing in India as well. There will be better products that will go out, and of course DC will improve in its trade. So will India. On the oil front, of course, there will be diversification that India has already done over the last 10 months. There was significant amount of 30 to 40% oil coming in from Russia. That has been diversified. Now Trump says that India is willing to buy Venezuelan oil and perhaps American oil as well. Will that happen? What will be the timeline would be something significant. But today, immediately after the trade deal was announced by the US President Trump, and thereafter an announcement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the tariff situation also, that is slashed from 50% to 18%. We'll have now the Commerce Minister and the Industry Minister of India, Piyush Goyal.
Aditya, I have some breaking news coming in. I will have to interrupt you there. The breaking news coming in here on Breaking Ground is that the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's plea against the Election Commission of India has been listed for tomorrow. This matter is going to be heard by India's top court, and we're being told that the West Bengal Chief Minister, the TMC Chief, Mamata Banerjee, will also be present during that SI hearing in the Supreme Court. Mamata Banerjee is the petitioner in the SR case, and this will be taken up for hearing on the 4th of February. Remember, Mamata Banerjee has been in the national capital since yesterday. She's brought that SR battle to the national capital. She met with the CEC, Gyanesh Kumar, yesterday. She stopped stormed out of that meeting. Before that, there was also a face-off and showdown with the Delhi police, where she claimed that they were following her wherever she was moving to in the national capital. She's also got her teams from the Kolkata police now stationed in the national capital. But the big news here is at this point that the hearing on SR is tomorrow. The petitioner in the case is Mamata Banerjee, and she will be inside the Supreme Court is what we're hearing at this point on that story. Saurabh Gupta joining me live at this point. Saurabh, you have West Bengal Chief Minister bringing that fight to Delhi, but now the big news is that she will even be attending the hearing tomorrow, where she's the petitioner in the case.
That's right. You know, this is, of course, an important development. It was on her schedule. It's been confirmed that it's on her schedule, that she would be present for the hearing. However, you know, there is always security clearances and all of that, which we believe has also come through. So it is confirmed that she would be there. If all goes well, if all goes according to plan, she will be there at the hearing when it takes place tomorrow. We know it's been listed. In fact, my colleague Nupur has confirmed that it's been listed. So obviously, Mamata Banerjee, who has brought that SIR battle to the national capital, it's become the biggest political showdown ahead of the elections in West Bengal. But, you know, we've seen the SIR. There are three critical issues that obviously the Trinamool has raised, apart from the fact that it's been stressful for BLOs and there have been deaths, etc. They've stressed on 3 points, and these 3 points are: firstly, the appointment of micro-observers, which they say has no basis, no provision in the Representation of People's Act. Then they say there is also the BLO app, in which there have been instructions that have been changing. There have been, you know, the BLO's, sort of opinions have not been taken into consideration. And the third aspect is the logical discrepancies part. Now, anyone who's familiar with Bengal knows Mukhopadhyay and Mukherjee, Bandyopadhyay and Banerjee, Das Gupta with a space, Das Gupta without a space, Sen Gupta with a space, Sen Gupta without a space. And, you know, there are multiple variations of the same surname. And in many cases, the algorithm seems to be flagging these as discrepancies when in reality they aren't. So these are the three specific issues that obviously the Trinamool has been focusing on. But the big news is that Mamata Banerjee is likely and will be present as per her schedule in the Supreme Court for that hearing on the SIR, or the Special Intensive Revision.
So one of her claims has been against the BJP and the government, Saurabh, that why hasn't the EC conducted the SR exercise in BJP-ruled Assam? Why is it for Bengal? And she claims it's because the elections are coming up in the state.
Yes, that's been the Trinamool's main grouse, so to speak, and they say that they're targeting Bengal. In fact, Mamata Banerjee says that there is a legitimate fear that legitimate voters could be disenfranchised because of the issues with the SIR exercise. Now, this is something that the Trinamool has flagged. This is something that Mamata Banerjee has repeatedly flagged in several letters to the Chief Election Commissioner, Gyanesh Kumar. She's written multiple letters. She's, of course, met him. She said that, of course, that she was that the attitude of the CEC was not right. She in fact stormed out of that meeting, like you said. The CEC on their part and the EC on its part says that that they were extended all politeness and courtesy, but she slammed the table and stormed out. Beyond that, there has been the concerns that the Trinamool has raised. Some of those concerns have been voiced by others as well. But largely, it's also up to the court to decide on how the court sees these matters. And Mamata Banerjee will be present in court as she's the petitioner.
All right. So that's the latest we have for you. The hearing is expected tomorrow on the 4th of February. Mamata Banerjee, the TMC chief, and the Chief Minister of West Bengal expected to be at that hearing after that showdown with the CEC, where she stormed out of the head office of the Election Commission yesterday in the national capital. Now, the showdown between West Bengal government and the Election Commission is only escalating, as you would have figured by now. In the latest, a group of Bengal police have reached the national capital a day after Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee raised alarm over the Delhi police deployment. Remember, she had claimed that the Delhi police were following her all over ever since she landed in the national capital. The Delhi police, meanwhile, has rubbished her claims, calling it just routine deployment. The Bengal Chief Minister is in the national capital. She met with the Chief Election Commissioner yesterday on the SIR issue. The Bengal Chief Minister launched a direct attack on Gyanesh Kumar, the CEC, saying, and I'm going to quote her here, "Your fate will also be like the former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Meanwhile, the Election Commission sources have told NDTV that during the meeting, Mamata Banerjee misbehaved with the CEC. She banged the table, like Saurabh just pointed out, and she stormed out of that meeting, which has led to several reactions also coming in.
देखिए, हमको बहुत दुख हुआ है, तकलीफ भी हुआ है। हम बहुत दिन दिल्ली में पॉलिटिक्स किया है। हम 4 टर्म्स मिनिस्टर थे, 7 टर्म्स MP थे, लेकिन हम कभी ऐसा इलेक्शन कमीशन को नहीं देखा जिन्होंने इतना एरोगेंट है, ग्रेट लायर है। पहले 58 लाख लोगों को वोट दिया, निकाल दिया, और उनको अब डिफेंड भी करने नहीं दिया।
शुभेंदु अधिकारी सोच रहा है राजभवन ये पार्टी ऑफिस है उनका, राज्यपाल अपॉइंटेड बाय भाजपा, तो वो लोग गए क्या है तो जा सकता है। गवर्नर साहब उनको थोड़ा चाय बिस्कुट चाय पानी खिला देंगे, वो लौट के जाए। भाजपा पूरा हैरास कर रहा है, भाजपा डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, SIR के नाम पे कॉन्स्पिरेसी कर रहा है, और बंगाल का जो ड्यूज है बजट में बंगाल के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है। उस सब्जेक्ट में भाजपा का कोई एक सेंटेंस नहीं है। वो लोग सिर्फ पब्लिक को हैरास करने के लिए और जेन्युइन वोटर्स को डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए कॉन्स्पिरेसी कर रहे हैं।
उनकी सुरक्षा व्यवस्था की जिम्मेदारी दिल्ली पुलिस की है, और इस बारे में पश्चिम बंगाल पुलिस ने हमें पहले ही बता दिया था। इसके बाद दिल्ली पुलिस ने चाणक्यपुरी और हेली रोड दिल्ली स्थित बंग भवन में व्यापक सुरक्षा और कानून व्यवस्था के इंतजाम किए। दिल्ली पुलिस सामान्यतः साल भर अलग अलग सुरक्षा और कानून व्यवस्था की ड्यूटी के लिए सेंट्रल आर्म पुलिस फोर्सेज के कर्मियों की भी मदद लेती है, और उन्हें भी इन कानून व्यवस्था तथा सुरक्षा इंतजामों के लिए तैनात किया गया था। इस सिलसिले में आज न तो कोई पुलिसकर्मी बंग भवन में घुसा है और न ही वहां रहने वालों की आवाजाही पर कोई रोक लगाई गई है।
Now, a fresh political face-off has erupted over former Army Chief General M.M. Narawane's unpublished memoir and references to the Ladakh standoff with China in the year 2020. It was triggered by the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi quoting a media report that carried excerpts from the book, leading to sharp reaction from several members of the government, including the Defence Minister and the Home Minister. Hitting back, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju launched a scathing attack, saying that Rahul Gandhi should change his behaviour, accusing him of violating Parliament rules. He made this comment this morning.
राहुल गांधी जानबूझ के ये काम कर रहे हैं हमारा देश का आर्मी का मनोबल को गिराने के लिए। हमारा देश का विदेश नीति, रक्षा नीति जो बहुत ही संवेदनशील होते हैं, उसको वो हल्कापन मजाक के तौर पर दुनिया के सामने में पेश करना चाहते हैं। रक्षा मंत्री और आर्मी चीफ के बीच में क्या बात होता है, रक्षा मंत्री प्रधानमंत्री के बीच में क्या बात होता है, ये कोई सार्वजनिक घोषणा करके बताने का चीज होता है क्या? इसलिए मैं समझता हूं कि राहुल गांधी ने ऐसा नहीं, वो बचपना नादान में ऐसा कर रहे, ऐसा नहीं है। ये सोची समझी एक षड्यंत्र है कि भारत को बदनाम करने के लिए।
मुझे बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं, मुझे बस 2-3 लाइन बोलनी है, उसमें सब पता लग जाएगा, बट वो बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं। मैं कह रहा हूं कि इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ नेशनल सिक्योरिटी। दीज आर द वर्ड्स ऑफ आर्मी चीफ, सीरियस लीडर ऑफ आवर फोर्सेस, एंड इट्स अ कॉन्वर्सेशन दैट ही हैज हैड विद राजनाथ सिंह जी and also with Mr. Narendra Modi. All I'm saying is that I want to say in the house what the army chief has written. बस वही मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ, आर्मी चीफ ने क्या बोला है, मोदी जी ने उनसे क्या कहा, राजनाथ सिंह जी ने उनसे क्या कहा, क्या ऑर्डर दिया, मैं पार्लियामेंट हाउस में बोलना चाहता हूँ। पता नहीं इतने क्यों डरे हुए हैं।
देखना पड़ेगा कि मामला बड़ा गंभीर है, क्योंकि इसके अंदर तो जब बार बार नरवाने साहब पूछ रहे थे, अब तो सारी चीजें बाहर आ गई, सोशल मीडिया पे सारा कुछ दिखाई दे रहा है। वो तो कह रहे थे कि भाई हमें कुछ बताइए बताइए बताइए। 2 घंटे के बाद कहा जो आप कर सकते हैं करिए, तो उन्होंने कहा हैंडेड में हॉट पोटैटो, आप समझ सकते हैं गर्म आलू हाथ में पकड़ा हो किसी ने तो उसकी स्थिति तो वॉर से भी बड़ी होती है। तो यह तो सामने स्पष्ट है कि यह सरकार कुछ नहीं कर सकती, सब जगह फेल है। चीन ने हमारी कितनी जमीन कब्जा कर लिया है, सो अभी तक उसका आंकड़ा हमारे पास में नहीं है, लेकिन परिस्थिति बहुत गंभीर है और जब तक ये सरकार हटेगी नहीं, देश बचेगा नहीं।
Himanshu joining me live at this point. Himanshu, we've seen the face-off ever since yesterday after Rahul Gandhi attempted to speak in Parliament. What are we expecting today? Could we see the leader of opposition attempting to make his point, his statement once again in Parliament anytime today?
Yeah, of course. Rahul Gandhi has made it very clear that the point that he wanted to raise yesterday with regard to the 2020 skirmish between India and the Chinese soldiers in Ladakh, this is the point that he wishes to again raise today. And he has categorically said that despite government opposing his decision, he has decided to go ahead and present these facts in Parliament. On the other side, we do know that Treasury benches are insisting that Lok Sabha Speaker has given a ruling under Rule 349, which prohibits an MP from raising an issue published in a book or a magazine or any other publication or a document which has not been authenticated by the Secretariat. So clearly, I think there is a logjam. That we saw a political stalemate leading to adjournment of the House 3 times yesterday, and Rahul Gandhi every time insisting that he be allowed to make the point that he wants to make, and he actually wants to refer to specific details published in former Army Chief Narwane's unpublished book, excerpts of which have been published in a magazine.
Yes, and Himanshu, what are your sources telling you as far as the government's approach on this is going to be? Because, of course, they did protest against it yesterday. What is their approach going to be in Parliament today when that attempt is made again by the Leader of Opposition?
Well, the government is adamant that any detail related to what was written in an unpublished book can't be shared in Parliament because these details have not been authenticated, neither the book has been published. And that is why Treasury benches, government ministers are insisting that Lok Sabha Speaker has already given a ruling on this issue that Rahul Gandhi wants to raise under Rule 349, as I said, which prohibits sharing any details inside the House related to what has been published in a book or a magazine or a publication or any other document which has not been authenticated by the Secretariat. So government, of course, is very clear that it doesn't want the Speaker to allow Rahul Gandhi under any circumstances to raise these issues related to the 2020 border skirmish between India and the Chinese soldiers and the role of what Rahul Gandhi is alleging the Prime Minister and Defence Minister. So these are details which are very sensitive, and government doesn't want Rahul Gandhi to speak on that. But Rahul Gandhi is adamant and defiant that he will be raising when he gets an opportunity, and that could lead to a lot of hangama in Lok Sabha when the House resumes, and the debate on motion of thanks on President's address is again restarted shortly.
All right, so we're expecting the Leader of Opposition to try and make that statement in Parliament once again, but also we're going to hear from the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, who's going to make a statement on that big Indo-US trade deal in about 2.5 hours from now. All right, rather 1.5 hours from now. Moving on now, but staying with the big story, a political storm is brewing over former Army Chief General M.M. Naravne's unreleased memoir after Rahul Gandhi's remarks on the book. Shiv Sena UBT MP Sanjay Raut has raised serious concerns, saying he now fears for the general's safety and has demanded enhanced security for the former Army Chief. The demand has now found support from the Congress as well. Senior leader Pramod Tiwari, backing Raut, said that the threat cannot be ignored and the general could be in danger at any time. With opposition parties closing ranks, pressure is mounting on the government to respond both on the book controversy and concerns being raised over General Naravne's security.
देश में तो सरकार के खिलाफ जो भी बात करेगा, जो सच कहेगा, वो सबको सुरक्षा की जरूरत है, क्योंकि ये झूठों की सरकार है, सच से उनका कोई नाता नहीं है। कल लोकसभा में राहुल गांधी को बोलने नहीं दिया। जनरल मनोज नरवणे रिटायर्ड, उनकी किताब है जिस किताब के ऊपर अब तक सरकार ने उनको परमिशन नहीं दी है पब्लिश करने की। उसमें से कुछ तथ्य सामने लाया है कि हमारा पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप संकट के समय में निर्णय लेने की क्षमता उसमें नहीं है, ये उसमें स्पष्ट दिखता है। ये साहस दिखाया है जनरल नरवणे जी ने।
बिल्कुल ठीक मांग की है। यह सरकार बुरी तरह फंस गई है और किसी भी समय जनरल नरवणे को किसी भी तरह का खतरा हो सकता है, तो ये बेहतर है कि उनको सुरक्षा दी जाए।
देखो, नरवणे जी ने संजय राउत जैसे भोकला गया आदमी से थोड़ा बचना चाहिए। नरवणे जी के अब राजनीति के लिए कोई मुद्दा ही नहीं है उनके पास, अपोजिशन के पास कोई मुद्दा नहीं है, इसलिए नरवणे जी का जो मुद्दा है वो लग के चल रहे हैं। अभी लोगों के जो काम काज के लिए, लोगों के जो देश की जनता है उनके लिए कुछ काम करना अभी उनके पास नहीं है। अभी जनता ने उन्हें हरा दिया है, उनको जनता भूल गई है, इसलिए इसी तरह के मुद्दे लेके चल रहे हैं।
A political face-off has erupted over Ajit Pawar's death. Shiv Sena UBT leader and Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut has made a statement on the death of Ajit Pawar that has raised serious questions. Raut said that there is something fishy about Pawar's death and has hinted at something that may have happened behind the scenes. Sanjay Raut has also drawn a parallel with the case of Justice Loya. Not only Sanjay Raut, but NCP SP leader Anil Deshmukh has also sought a probe into the death of Ajit Pawar. Congress has also joined that chorus and said that a conspiracy was hatched somewhere to prevent the two NCP factions from coming together. Meanwhile, BJP has denied all these allegations and slammed the opposition for playing politics over the death of Maharashtra's former Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar.
और जिस प्रकार से ये आवाज, ये सवाल अजीत दादा के पार्टी से उठ रहे हैं, ये रहस्यमय है। उनकी मौत जो है वो रहस्यमय है। कुछ तो हुआ है पर्दे के पीछे। अजीत दादा ने ये कहा था कि मैं पुराने घर में जाना चाहता हूं। फिर अजीत दादा ने कहा, उसके बाद बीजेपी के लोगों ने अजीत दादा को धमकाया कि अभी तक आपकी सिंचन घोटाले की फाइल बंद नहीं हुई है भाई। ये धमकी थी अजीत पवार।
It is a pure accident. There is nothing, anything, and the airport always makes the entry while leaving the aircraft. There is a written documentary evidence also to that effect, and I don't think that such allegations.
They are turning out it to be a conspiracy.
No, I don't think that is a case of a conspiracy.
ऐसा है कि जो विमान की दुर्घटना हुई उसकी वजह जो बताई गई कि विजिबिलिटी कम थी करके, लेकिन जो वीडियो लिए गए वो वीडियो इतने दूर से लेने के बाद में एकदम साफ दिखते कि किस प्रकार से प्लेन जा रहा था, जाते जाते लैंड होते टाइम कैसे टिल्ट हो गया और कैसे क्रैश हो गया। तो करके काफी लोगों को शंका है कि इतनी क्लियर विजिबिलिटी होने के कारण, विजिबिलिटी का जो कारण बताया जाता है क्रैश का, करके काफी लोगों को शंका है। लेकिन अभी ऐसा है कि ब्लैक बॉक्स जो है, ब्लैक बॉक्स मिल गया है, उसकी जांच होगी, जो तज्ञ मंडली है उसकी जांच करेंगे और जांच में सब चीजें सामने आएंगी।
महाराष्ट्र के 80% लोगों का यही कहना है, इसमें कुछ ना कुछ तो दाल में काला है। देखो, समय पर पायलट चेंज किया जाता है। अभी एक नया इशू आया कि वहां पे 6 पैसेंजर थे, 5 की बाड़ी मिली। ये जो इस सब प्रकार की जब ये सब इशू सामने आते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि इसके बारे में निष्पक्ष जांच होने की आवश्यकता है और केवल सीआईडी इंक्वायरी से कुछ हासिल होने वाला नहीं है।
Slipping to a short break, news and updates in moments from now on Breaking Ground at 1 p.m. with me, Vedika. Stay tuned.
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल। इट इज आवर फ्लैगशिप ऑयल।
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं। इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से।
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में। पी मार्क, द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933।
बरसों से सरसों। आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा, अपार ने INS विक्रांत के लिए 150 से ज्यादा तरह के केबल्स बनाए हैं। देश के टॉर्पीडोस में भी हैं अपार के केबल्स। वंदे भारत भी अपार के केबल से ही स्पीड पकड़ती है और यही वायर्स और केबल्स हमारे घरों को भी पावर करते हैं। विश्वास इसमें अपार, तभी तो ये है देश का तार।
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा। और क्यों रोए?
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसमे।
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
बीजेपी डबल इंजिन सरकार এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They're now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship, the line of control, Shivaru.
All right, big news coming in on that big USA-India trade deal. Top sources have told NDTV that the interests of farmers has not and will not be compromised. Sensitive sectors in agriculture and dairy that were protected will remain so. Managing editor Shiv Arur joins me on the broadcast. Shiv, just decode for us what we're now getting to know about the US-India trade deal. More information coming in, and the headline here seems to be that the interests in terms of farmers remain safeguarded.
That is correct, Vedika. A fresh layer of detail, very crucial layer of detail coming in from the top layer of the government exclusively to NDTV that provides a little more clarity on some of those unanswered questions, even though I must preface this by saying we're still awaiting a full government statement on the trade deal. But what I have been told by our top sources is there is zero compromise on the interests of Indian farmers. Zero compromise is being emphasized in this context. Number two, sensitive dairy and agriculture sectors are to continue to be completely protected. India will continue prioritizing its people in energy purchases, which means market prices will determine where India buys its energy from, which is how it has been done so far as well. India is committed to purchasing energy from non-sanctioned entities. Very, very interesting and very, very important, Vedika. This, could mean that India has in some places committed to buying, oil potentially from Venezuela. We don't know that yet because remember, Trump had said that in his statement revealing the trade deal last night, even though India has not commented officially on that yet. But my sources in the government are telling me that India is committed to purchasing oil from non-sanctioned entities. India-US bilateral trade to go up 5x over the next few years. So those who've been wondering about the $500 billion amount, and there's been a lot of speculation about that, my sources in the government have explained to me that $20 to $30 billion of US goods in India, $30 to $40 billion of Indian investment and goods in the United States. This will go up 5x because this new deal will unlock a huge measure of economic activity, the purchase of aircraft, the purchase of Boeing jets, all manner of new sectors unopened as part of this bilateral trade. So that means this $500 billion implies about a 5x of the current bilateral trade over the next few years and not some big bang amount that will immediately land. So that's very important to know, and the huge amount of economic value that will be unlocked, like I said, as part of this trade deal. So farmers protected, agriculture and dairy sectors also protected. India committed to buying energy from non-sanctioned entities, which is a big, big headline, and also clarity on the $500 billion figure that Trump had put out.
Shiv, let's talk about the Venezuelan oil here because there were sanctions in place earlier. Your government sources now telling you now that the sanctions have been lifted, they will buy oil from Venezuela. But that transition could take a while, Shiv. Knowing the infrastructure in terms of Venezuelan oil, it's dilapidated to a certain extent, the infrastructure. Also, India has been buying more oil from Russia than Venezuela even produces. So that transition, Shiv, could take a while.
Not only could it take a while, but this has been one of the areas where the Indian side has been standing up to the United States continuously. Remember, Vedika, at a time when the United States had been saying that India has lessened its import of Russian oil, the data actually suggested precisely the opposite. So it's very important that the two things being said by our sources in the government are A, that India is committed to buying oil from non-sanctioned entities. You're right about the transition, being much more complicated. But it also says that the interests of our people will be paramount in where India chooses to buy its oil from, which has been basically the criterion on which it has purchased oil even now. So energy security is going to depend on market prices, is what my source in government has emphasized to me. So, to me, this I interpret this as no major differences. There may be certain tweaks in terms of our sourcing of energy, but you're right. I think the transition time that it will take without any major gaps, and for a country as huge as India with a growing economy, our energy appetite is massive. There can be absolutely no stoppages or no delays of any kind in any kind of transition phase. But it's important to note that India is saying it is committed to purchasing oil from non-sanctioned.
And I think what's also important here is that their stand remains, the Indian government's, where it benefits India, we will go there, it's India first. So that remains, Shiv.
Very true. I think the an overarching message from all of this is that India will do what is in its interests. A bilateral trade deal, they always say, the wise men and women always say, Vedika, that it makes you equally happy and it's equally painful. There will be give and take on both sides. Yes. There will be those on the American side as well. Make no mistake about it. The very fact that it has taken such a long time to get to this point demonstrates and establishes that India has refused to budge on some very, very important issues. Clearly, those include dairy and agriculture, the interests of farmers, India's energy sourcing requirements, etc. It has obviously also been able to, provide some kind of elbow room to the United States on some issues. Remember, Trump yesterday said that Modi and Trump are doers, people who get things done. They will, jointly work to sort out the Russia-Ukraine war as well. All of that clarity will come down to India's energy sourcing requirements as well, because that is something that Trump has made, almost a kind of 1 + 1 = 11 kind of sum. But it's going to be interesting to see how much more clarity we get now, Vedika, once the government comes out with a statement. We're hearing it could happen today, it could happen tomorrow as well, but I'm hoping there will be a lot more clarity than we have now.
And what we know is it's going to be the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal who will be speaking in Parliament. Like Shiv said, it could happen between 3 and 4 p.m. today or tomorrow. Shiv, thanks for joining me live. Those top sources, we're bringing you the information on the India-US deal there. Very important details here on NDTV and Breaking Ground. Harsh Shringla, BJP MP, also speaking on the issue. Let's listen in.
राज्यसभा में बीजेपी के सांसद और पूर्व विदेश सचिव रहे हर्षवर्धन श्रृंगला जी से बात करते हैं। टैरिफ कम कर दिया अमेरिका ने, ये तो राहत की बात है, लेकिन विपक्ष के 2 सवाल हैं बुनियादी। पहला तो ये कि क्या जैसा अमेरिका के कृषि मंत्री ने कहा है, क्या भारत के कृषि प्रोडक्ट के साथ, किसानों के साथ कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया गया है? और दूसरा कि हर ऐलान अमेरिका ही पहले क्यों करता है, वो भी हमें बताता है कि हम कहाँ से तेल खरीदेंगे, वो हमें बताता है कि ये ट्रेड डील हो गई है। दोनों चीजों का आप क्या जवाब देंगे?
देखिए, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का इंडिया फर्स्ट नीति है, इसी कारण से ये ट्रेड डील काफी टाइम लगा है हमें इसको तय करने में। इस पीरियड में काफी दबाव भी आया था और विपक्ष के दबाव भी आया था कि आप ट्रेड डील क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप किसी हालत से कर लीजिए, हमारे इंडस्ट्री, हमारे एक्सपोर्टर सफर कर रहे हैं। तो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि नहीं, जब तक हमारे किसानों का सुरक्षा हम एश्योर नहीं कर सकते, ये ट्रेड डील नहीं होगी। अभी जो ट्रेड डील तय होगी है, इसमें से हमारे एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर पूरी तरह प्रोटेक्टेड हैं। हाँ, अमेरिका को कुछ एक्सेस होगा जिस प्रोडक्ट्स में हम ट्रेडिशनली हैं नहीं, और जिस प्रोडक्ट्स में कुछ टैरिफ रैशनलाइजेशन।
We have news coming in from Australia. A statue of Mahatma Gandhi has gone missing in Melbourne. It's a bronze statue of Mahatma Gandhi. at an Australian Indian community centre in Melbourne that has been stolen. It's prompted a police investigation and, of course, a renewed concern within Melbourne's Indian Australian community. The statue, which was gifted by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, a national capital gift there, was inaugurated on the 12th of November 2021 by former Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison and holds significant cultural and historical and symbolic importance for the community. Now, the Victoria Police has confirmed Monday that officers from the Crime Investigation Unit at the Victoria Police Knox will be investigating the theft. Aditya Rajkol joining me live on the story. Aditya, huge concern there, especially for the Indian community in Melbourne.
Well, yes, this is a very sad development coming in from Melbourne in Australia, where Mahatma Gandhi's statue has gone missing. It has gone stolen. Perhaps now the local police has started an investigation, but we are told that there is no clue with the local police in Australia's Melbourne as to where that Mahatma Gandhi statue really went. We're being told through our sources in the Indian community that in 2021, it was organized and inaugurated by the former Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison. But now, what an embarrassment really taking place in Australia that Mahatma Gandhi, India's father of the nation, his statue, somebody who played a very significant role in India's freedom struggle, his statue has gone missing. We are also being told that there are a lot of smugglers in the area who takes copper and stone statues. Perhaps those are involved, but the police investigation will reveal further. But the Indian community, Indian diaspora is very much concerned and has reached out to the Australian government to take action.
All right, Aditya Rajkol with those details on that breaking story here on Breaking Round at 1 p.m. Thanks for joining me. Well, the wait is over. Following Dhurandar's strong box office performance, the makers have now treated fans to the much-anticipated teaser of its sequel, Dhurandhar The Revenge. We leave you with that trailer.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
We bring you the inside track on what Prime Minister Modi said on the trade deal that has been signed with the US in that NDA parliamentary meet. Prime Minister's big remarks says world order changing in India's favour. Government likely to make a statement on that big deal in Parliament. India-US trade deal locked and loaded. US cuts tariffs from 50 to 18%. Massive reboot in India-US ties. We decode what India gains in this deal. Markets share India-US trade deal. Sensex Nifty in green. Rupee gains per dollar after US cuts tariffs on India. Huge showdown in Parliament over the trade deal. 2 adjournments. Lok Sabha to resume at 2 p.m. Uproar by opposition. Slammed centre. Asks why didn't the Prime Minister Narendra Modi share information on the deal first? Questions India's strategic autonomy.
Made in India क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? Mustard oil. It is our flagship oil.
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं। इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से।
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में। पी मार्क द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933।
सरसों से सरसों।
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Master Stroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
M3M presents NDTV Master Stroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
I have always had this inclination towards art, and if we don't collaborate and bring those artists forward, give them a platform, who else will?
Honoring the masters who define our cultural landscape, M3M presents NDTV Master Stroke Art Awards. On the NDTV network, the front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindoor,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
लोग कहते हैं कि जिंदगी एक फिल्म की तरह होती है, लेकिन मेरी जिंदगी सिर्फ एक फिल्म नहीं, एक ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्म है। बचपन से पता था मेरे सपनों में दम है, आगे नहीं सबसे आगे जाना है, स्टार नहीं सुपरस्टार बन के दिखाना है। नाम मिला, फेम मिला, प्यार मिला, I was not just running, I was flying। सबकी जुबां पे बस एक ही नाम, यो हनी सिंगर। लेकिन फिर ब्लॉकबस्टर कहानी में आया एक ट्विस्ट, 7वें आसमान से सीधा गिरा मैं जमीन पर। फिर क्या, खुद पे काम दोबारा शुरू, फैंस ने फिर प्यार दिखाया, फिर स्टार नहीं सुपरस्टार बनाया। है ना मेरी जिंदगी एक ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्म। शुक्रिया आपकी प्रेयर्स का और आपके प्यार का। कॉन्सर्ट्स तो आपने बहुत देखे होंगे, but this is gonna be concert of a lifetime. क्योंकि मेरे fans ही हैं, मेरी victory, मेरी history, मेरी glory. So come and witness Yo-Yo Honey sing. This is my story.
The NDTV Golf Pro-Am, in partnership with PGTI, comes to you from the heart of South Mumbai at the historic Willingdon Sports Club. The city's classic layout provides the ideal canvas as India's finest golfers share the fairways with the country's top corporate leaders, Mumbai style. Watch at these heights.
को यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
टीएमसी जावे, बीजेपी आसमे।
And welcome, you're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rao. The India-US trade deal has finally been arrived at, but the opposition says the devil is in the detail. What does it mean for agriculture and Indian farmers? We'll get you the government response to that. First, a look at the headlines we're tracking. Union Minister Piyush Goyal will be addressing Parliament on the India-US trade deal as the opposition demands details amid concerns for Indian agriculture. The government sources tell NDTV that farmers will be protected and people of India are a priority in the deal. The market certainly cheering the India-US trade deal. The Sensex and Nifty zoom into the green on opening. The rupee gains 1.2% per dollar after US cuts tariffs on India. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee's plea against the Election Commission regarding the SIR process is listed tomorrow for hearing in the Supreme Court, and she will be present herself in the top court during that hearing, as Mamta Banerjee is a petitioner in the case. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju hits out at Rahul Gandhi over the former army chief's book. Rao says that he should start behaving in Parliament. The opposition leaders, meanwhile, asked for increased security for General Narawane, whose book on India-China standoff Rahul Gandhi sought to quote in Parliament. The Supreme Court's big exit India warning to Meta over WhatsApp privacy says Meta can't play with the privacy rights in the country in the name of data sharing, says they are welcome to leave the country. All right, let's get you the breaking news coming in on the trade deal, and the government has made it clear. Government sources have told NDTV that farmers' interests have not been compromised in the India-US trade deal. Remember, this was a concern that was being raised by opposition parties, especially after the US Agricultural Secretary welcomed the trade deal, saying it will benefit American farmers. Now, what we have learned from sources is that sensitive sectors in agriculture and dairy, which were protected, will remain so. That India will continue to purchase crude oil from countries around the world that are not under sanctions based on the rate, and that we did not buy from Venezuela when sanctions were in place, and that sanctions are lifted and we will buy crude from Venezuela. That the $500 billion that was said by US President Donald Trump when he was touting the US trade deal is because the trade deal is being unlocked, that imports of $40 to $50 billion and invests around the same amount is what the government sources have said. Also, the figure is reflected in aircraft deals and other related investments. Let's just listen into what BJP leaders and ministers had to say regarding the India-US trade deal.
अभी राज्यसभा में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने वॉकआउट किया इंडिया यूएस ट्रेड को लेकर के। ये झूठ फैला रहे हैं, ये ठीक नहीं है। अभी मैंने सुना है कांग्रेस वालों ने कहा कि एग्रीकल्चर हमारा फार्मर्स को नुकसान होने जा रहा है। ऐसा झूठ नहीं फैलाना चाहिए। ट्रेड डील जो इतना ऐतिहासिक भारत और अमेरिका के बीच में हुआ है, तो भारत अमेरिका ट्रेड डील का डिटेल आपको मालूम नहीं है।